Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, and Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your October 16th to the 31st, 2025 reading for you. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Oh, and if you like this reading, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. And if you would like to book a private reading, a private personalized meditation, a healing, or a gift card, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It is linked in the description box below. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Now we can do that. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, I love that. The universe opening up. Okay, then we have the Eight of Wands, angels and spirit guides. We have the Hierophant. We have the Ten of Swords, which is a nice card to have in the kind of like the energy that is leaving area, angels and spirit guides. We have the Hermit. We have the Six of Pentacles, angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly, guide this reading, and show me clearly. Oh, Three of Swords, Knight of Wands, angels and spirit guides. The Five of Swords, and then we have as the outcome. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So let me move this down so that you can see. So what I said, that was nice. We have the Five of Swords and then we have the Two of Pentacles and the King of Wands. Okay. So we're starting here at the center of it all, which is the universe. And I love that the universe is opening up for you. You are also stepping out into the world more, saying, this is what I want, kind of claiming your space, your desire, your determination, your focus, your insight. So the universe opening up to you is a spectacular thing. And what I love here is that she's diaphanous, right? She's not solid. And of course, but here she's of snow and of air and of wind. And you're going to see that the kind of like the things that would have kept you held back once upon a time, you're now starting to say, well, I can do that. And what about this? And oh, let me see that. And let me open up that door. And there's a real sense of stepping into the universal consciousness of what it is that you want, like claiming your story, your space, your desire, and really opening up and seeing an expanse come before you. It moves us then to the challenge, which is the Eight of Wands. Now, with the Eight of Wands, it's a lot happening, right? There's a lot going on here with the Eight of Wands. It's a lot of movement. It is a lot, like we can just have a lot thrown at us. How do I juggle it all? We do see here with the Two of Pentacles that is something that is a little bit trying during this time. How do I juggle it all? How do I, make everything go perfectly? Let go of perfect. That's going to be really important. And let yourself kind of like flow. Let yourself kind of like ride the winds a bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be the best thing ever. It just has to be. And so giving yourself a sense of calm and a sense of grace is going to be important and invaluable to you during this time. You can also find that, time will just move quickly. All of a sudden you're doing something and you look up at the clock and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm late. Or, oh my gosh, what about this? What about that? So just be aware that that's part of the challenge of this time, grounding yourself, centering yourself, seeing what it is that you want, but also keeping yourself on task. That can be something that's very challenging, especially if you work for yourself or you work from home. You might find that you're setting a lot of alarms to remind you of things. That could be very helpful, actually. With the Hierophant here, this is the energy we need to focus on. And this is your talent. This is your success. This is your prosperity. This is also Taurus energy, time frame April 20th to May 20th. The Hierophant is about structure, but you're also learning how to break the rules in order to embrace what you want, or how to get, it's not break the rules so much as how to get things to work for you. Instead of saying, oh, I have to just change myself completely. It's like, no, these are my talents. This is me. How do I embrace my talents, my prosperity, myself, and let myself shine? With the Hierophant coming forward, it can be, going back to school. It can be learning of any sort is very intriguing to the Hierophant energy. And what you're going to see for yourself here during this time, Cancer, is the sense of like, what do I want for me? What am I looking for? What do I desire? Where is it that I want to be? And what are the talents within me that need to come to the surface, right? That I need to embrace and let be a part of my life, because there is a sense here of like following. It would be easier to follow everybody else's rules, and it just would be. And so here with the Hierophant, there's a sense of like, okay, I follow these rules, but also I need this creative freedom, this intuition, this power, this success for myself. And this is interesting because you have the Hermit here, which is Virgo energy. You have the Taurus here, which is, well, you have the Hierophant here, which is Taurus energy, both earth sign energies. Okay, very grounded, very stable, very practical energies coming forward. This one is, the Hermit is going into yourself. The Hierophant is taking that knowledge and bringing it out. So the Hermit is your strength. The Hierophant is where you need to focus, is taking that knowledge that you get from your introspection, from your meditation, from your connection with spirit and self, and bringing it forward to the world, and bringing it forward just even in your daily life, saying, you know what, this brings me stress. This makes me crazy, right? This gets me upset. So how do I eliminate it? How do I step forward into what I need? And you're going to see that you become more kind of regimented in things, a little bit more structured, but that structure actually allows you a lot more freedom, Cancer. It brings us then to the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords is the energy that is leaving. And a Ten of Swords time is an intense time. So with the Ten of Swords, it's, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this is a person with 10 swords in their back. It's overkill. It can be feeling like, oh my gosh, everything is so much. We become hypersensitive to everything. It's kind of like when you have a sunburn, and if the wind blows on your back, like a really bad sunburn, the wind blows on your back, oh my gosh, it hurts, right? So it can be that energy leaving. For some, it is. And then for others with the 10 of Swords, it's every time you were stabbed in the back, every time you were betrayed. It can be over a decade. It can be over a time of 10 months, a count of 10. It can even be 10 days, where you're looking at it, or even 10 fails that you had in one day. And then you look at things differently and you rise up. You rise up into yourself. You rise up into your power. You're coming out of this place of feeling stuck. And now you are reborn. You are transformed. And that is going to be just an absolute blessing to you. So you've come out, Cancer, of a tough time, of an intense time, of an overwhelming time. And it brings you then to the Hermit. It brings you to turning inward. And I love the Hermit because I always think of the Hermit in this deck. This is the Llewellyn Tarot deck, which is my favorite deck in the world. And here, I always think of him as the magician, right? But who has lived and who has learned and who isn't as crisp and perfect as he once was. And so the magician stands before the altar of his existence, claims his power, claims himself, says, this is what I'm doing. It's kind of like us when we're little. It's like, I can do anything, right? If we're nurtured that way. And that is like the hope and wish for everyone. And then you step into the world and it's like, oh, wow, it's so much harder than I thought, or it takes so much longer than you thought. This is the wisdom of that coming forward. This is the light within the darkness. There's also a flexibility, excuse me, of mind and spirit guiding you during this time. You're not going to be caged in the way that you once were, or overwhelmed the way that you had thought it. There's going to be a sense of like, oh, I see it. And there's also going to be a sense of overcoming, but like overcoming monsters in the dark, because I always think of, because the Llewellyn Tarot deck is based off of Welsh mythology, but in Celtic mythology and the myth of Ireland, where St. Patrick ran out, the snakes from Ireland. There weren't any snakes there to begin with, but it's just a beautiful story. There's a sense here of an accomplishment that comes forward. And it's like, oh, wow, that was just a fear. That was just a doubt. That was just like kind of like the boogeyman in the closet. And it might not have been tangible, but it was emotional. There was an emotional connection, and you were releasing it, and you were seeing yourself release. This is also the time frame of August 23rd to September 22nd. So not too long ago, there is this knowledge that has come forward for you, Cancer, and you're moving forward in it. You've had that awakening. You've had that rebirth. You've had also coming out of a time of trial, of tribulation, and you step into your power. You step into your authority of self. You are also going to really listen to your own counsel. You can talk and, get on with everybody, but it's really going to be that counsel of the heart, that sense of, this is what's important to me. That's really going to be important during this time and really going to guide you. It brings us then to the near future, which is the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is needing things to be balanced. So things have been out of balance, and you are going to be putting them into balance during this time, Cancer. And as you put them into balance, you are going to see a harmonizing, but you are also going to see that there is a wisdom guiding you forward. There is insight that is going to empower you, embolden you, and there can be somebody who is older or who has more experience in a field or in a way of doing things, seeing things than you have. They don't have to be older than you, but here it is kind of like, an older person who is helping out the children. You're going to see that they're going to help you balance things. They're going to help you harmonize things. They're going to help you to move forward. But what you're also doing here is looking at where is the imbalance in my life, and what do I need to harmonize? What do I need to settle into in order to be empowered, in order to see what I want, in order to claim my space and what I desire? So what you're going to be looking at is like, where do you feel unbalanced? Where do you feel overwhelmed? And you can be asking for help from others, but there's also this sense of sturdily claiming what you want and really focusing on what you desire. Now, the advice for this time is to name the pain that you have been through, all right? Because you are going to have doubts and fears around things because you are human, and that is what we do. But here with the Three of Swords, it's letting go of heartbreaks. It's letting go of pains. We can also get mad at people for saying, certain things. We're like, oh my gosh, that was so painful. And they might not mean it in a painful way. They might have gotten over it. We didn't. And so here, it is embracing a harmony. It is embracing a love within ourselves, but it's acknowledging the pains that we have been through. It's acknowledging the anger that we might have at things. It's not saying, oh, I can never be angry. I have to just be perfect all the time. No, there's a release that is moving you forward and that you are embracing. And as you do so, the Knight of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, coming forward, all right? And this is tenacity and success. This is the atmosphere that you are in. You're going to be very, very drawn to people who are tenacious, who are a bit, have a bit of a spark to them, a fire to them, a brilliance to them, that you're going to be like, ooh, that is really intriguing to you. But you're also going to be interested. You don't have to be you don't have to want to emulate who you are interested in. You might be interested in people who have like this passion or this kind of like drive with things that you don't quite understand. You're like, wow, how could you be into that? Or what is this? So just being aware of that with the Knight of Wands during this time, that's going to drive you forward. There's a curiosity, a passion, an intensity that is opening up the door to you. And you're going to be very active during this time. So you have this great rooted energy, this great practicality to you. And then there's also this fire and this tenacity. Now we come again to the swords with the hopes and the fears. And with the Five of Swords, we have the mind come forward. And the mind can be a little bit of an intense place during this time. So we can have a tendency to overthink, to overanalyze. We can have a tendency to be overly critical of ourselves. So do be mindful of that. With the Five of Swords, what we need to acknowledge within ourselves is that we're not the same person that we once were. And that's okay. And here we can be kind of like in situations or having things happen that make us feel like we did once upon a time. And what Spirit is saying here is that we're not that same person. And we have to remind ourselves of that, Cancer, because it'll be very easy to fall into kind of like defeatist patterns or, oh, you'll just take care of this type of thing. And Spirit is saying here that we're standing into our power, our authority. We are claiming the swords, which is the wealth of kingdoms, right? Kingdoms were won by swords once upon a time. And we are going to see ourselves embracing the power, embracing the authority. A man's fortune was changed on the battlefield if a ruler gave him a sword, at the end. So here, or during that battle, it was an extraordinary thing. And we are going to see ourselves embracing that wealth. We have taken the swords from others, not in a mean, I'm not sharing type of way, but in this way of like, no, I've earned this. I've come here. I've stepped forward. I'm moving this forward. And I'm embracing what I want without holding back. And it brings us then to the King of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. It will be very easy during this time to kind of get off balance, to get distracted, okay? Because both feet aren't firmly planted on the ground. There is a bit of trickery during this time as well, so do be aware of that. Keeping your feet grounded, knowing that emotions do run high is going to be really, really important. Balancing yourself, harmonizing yourself, knowing what it is that you want. The King of Wands fire sign energy, again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, there is this sense of transformation. There is this sense of passion and fire that is guiding you. You're highly creative during this time, and you want to use that creativity in a very practical way, in a way that shows your skill and your kind of authority of things. You're going to see yourself moving forward in the passion, the determination that you want. There's really not much that can hold you back during this time except yourself. So just be aware of that. Be aware, because what you're going after is an extraordinary, like, fire, tenacity. You're letting yourself shine brightly. And that is just the most beautiful thing that you can do. It brings us then to your spirit message. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. This is abundance. It is time to embrace the abundance of what you want, of, even saying, I'm allowing abundance into my life, without then thinking like, oh no, that's too much, or I'm not worthy of that. It's like, no, I'm letting abundance shine within me. I'm letting the harvest come in, and I'm letting success guide me forward. So this is a time where spirit is bringing abundance into your life. It brings us then to the chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And we have two here. We have soul's healing and forgiveness. So soul's healing is the soul star chakra, located 6 inches above your crown. And forgiveness is the heart chakra. It's healing through forgiving yourself. It's not about forgiving everybody else, though that's nice, but it's about not being so harsh on yourself. It's about saying, you know what, I was young, or I trusted the wrong people, or it was a mistake that was part of a life lesson, or that was a pain that can't be defined, but I'm not going to let it, eat away at me. And so as you forgive, your heart opens and your heart lightens, and the healing energy comes in, and it becomes such a beautiful part of you, Cancer. It brings us then to the energy to be mindful of, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is the 10 of Swords. It is that energy coming back, even though you have overcome and achieved. There is an energy here of like overthinking, doubts, fears, what other people say really sting. It can be like, oh my gosh, they're right. I'm not doing this right. I'm not doing that right. Do not take the authority of others as an authority over your life. Listen to them. Listen to what they have to say. Fine, that's great. But this is your existence. This is your empowerment, and it's letting yourself shine. It moves us then to the subconscious message of spirit, which is relax. Let yourself relax. Let yourself breathe. Take care of your health. Take care of you. Slow it down, and don't bite off more than you can chew. You're going to want to, especially with the challenge of the 8 of Wands. You want to do everything, right? You want to get everything done and do it really, really well. But if you put too much on your plate, there's going to be this shutdown of like, I just can't get it done. It's overwhelming. And I want to sit on the couch and eat popcorn instead of being bothered with all this nonsense. So do be aware of that for you. Be kind to yourself during this time. It brings us then to the subconscious chakra message, which is listening. And this is the throat chakra. Listen, it's a superpower. When you actually listen to people and kind of even the earth, you hear so much, you connect so much. So listening, let it be your superpower during this time, because subconsciously you're taking everything in, and you're going to have a lot more knowledge than you realize because of this. It brings us then to the energy to be mindful of. Workaholic energy. It's kind of like, I just have to work. I just have to push harder. It's also getting really caught up on details that don't matter as much as you might think they do in the moment. So just be aware of that. It brings us then to the subconscious tarot message, which is the 7 of Pentacles. Be patient. Be patient and let life ripen. Let it sweeten for you. Be patient with your dreams. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the way that you're moving forward. It doesn't mean that it's stagnation. What it means is that you're showing yourself grace. And you've been pushing yourself so hard here at Cancer that you forget to show yourself grace. You forget to be as kind to yourself as you are to others. And so here, be patient, because the prosperity, the fruits of your labor are paying off. And I know the question is when. Now, the timeframes that we have are the Hierophant and the Hermit. And that So the letter H, Spirit just said, is very important. Hierophant and Hermit, that makes sense. But it's also this sense here of what you have built in the past is coming forward into the present. So the intention set in the Hermit timeframe, in the Virgo timeframe, which is, August 23rd to September 22nd, you will see yourself really moving forward in that success. In Taurus timeframe, which is April 20th to May 20th, and that's a longer term goal. Okay, that's a longer term goal during this time. But you might think that's ridiculous, that's too long. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself a count of 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, to see the balance come in. But do be patient with yourself and kind with your heart. All right, Cancer. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Have a wonderful end of October and a blessed life and happy Halloween. Bye.